The San Joaquin Valley, a place abound with food, but where a decent bite may be hard to find. My name's Ramon. My mission? To find all things hidden, delicious, and unique that the valley has to offer. Joining me will be Angie. And Mark. And together, we'll find out what's good, Fresno.
Nothing says original quite like the Mad Duck. Nestled in the corner of Willow and Herndon, it serves up one-of-a-kind cuisine. One of the Mad Duck's owners, Alex, helped us crack the mystique of this local gastropub.
One of the first questions that people always ask is, how did you get the name Mad Duck?
We asked ourselves that a lot. The name Mad Duck is actually an anagram of the initials of the very important people who got this place going and are still involved today. The staff and friends of ours who all committed something.
One of the things that we talked about before was the very important concept of completing the meal.
Completing the meal is an idea that we have internally that states that a meal isn't just about food. It's about an experience, it's about your beverage, it's about your wine, your beer, your cocktail, and also about service. And it needs to be a complete picture in the sense that it all has to work together in harmony and in balance. We believe that it is important to compose the entire plate from food to cocktail to service, and that is when you're finally done with it. The Mad Duck experience is, for us, this is going to sound a little bit weird, but we wanted to create a minimalist, utilitarian style environment where the guest can actually inject their own emotion onto their experience. So if they come in a business suit and they want to be left alone to conduct business, we don't have a lot of stuff on the table cluttering that up, or somebody singing and clapping and dropping off donuts at half a dozen tables. However, when somebody comes in for a birthday or with small children, we need to be as interactive as we possibly can be to make sure that they can enjoy their meal and we're helping take care of the kids. It tries to hit a very broad spectrum of people and make it comfortable for everybody. The burgers and salads make up the bulk of our sales by far. Burgers are especially dear to my heart. We spent a long time. We do all fresh ground chuck. We never freeze it. We marinate it for 2 days before we hand pack it into burgers. We do signature patties that we craft in other ingredients into those patties to make sure that it is a complete meal that is unique to us, that definitely has our signature style embedded in the bun.
So tell me a little bit about your cocktails. What do you offer?
Well, the cocktail aspect of it is something that's near and dear to us. We go to great pains to make sure that we use as fresh ingredient in the cocktail as we do in the food that goes out. So we'll end up juicing 200 lemons a day just to make sweet and sour so that we can make margaritas. The staff lives by two mottos. The first is fresh is better. And the second is good food makes people happy. If you do that, make good food and you make fresh food, the rest is probably going to take care of itself.
What a better way to start our Mad Duck experience than with a refreshing cocktail.
This is our Georgia peach. It's a little fresh basil. We're going to take a little bit of fresh lemon juice, a little bit of house-made simple syrup. I'm going to strut back here a peach vodka. And we want to use a muddle that doesn't have points on the end because we don't want to tear the leaves apart. We just want to press the leaves until they're bruised so that they're just going to release oils and aromatics. Little 100% apple juice, not from concentrate.
That is so good. I have to say, this is by far the freshest cocktail that I've ever had, and the presentation's just gorgeous. When people actually take the time to use fresh, locally grown ingredients, it reflects in the product that they put out.
Flying with us on this meal is our good friend Kelly.
They gave us a lot of food to try out, so what do you guys want to start on first?
I think that one of the first things that we noticed was definitely the sweet potato fries.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for sweet potato fries, especially ones that look that good.
And they are crunchy, and they have the nice creamy flavor on the inside though.
It's a curry mustard sauce, which isn't something that you always see.
A lot of times I don't order sweet potato fries with my food because I don't want the sweetness, but these I could pair with like something else that I would normally eat.
Kelly, I know one of the first things that you eyeballed too when they brought it up was the tots.
Who serves tots?
Not many people. That's what I got really excited and stoked about it. Everybody serves fries.
Yeah.
Not everybody serves tots. I'm really picky because potatoes are my favorite thing to eat. Tots, they just They're crispy on the outside, but then they're soft on the inside, and they got really good potato flavor with them.
Tots are fun. You know, just throw them in your mouth. You don't have to limp all the way in.
Tots have a certain amount of nostalgia. They make you think back to childhood memories.
I've been eyeballing the deviled eggs, mainly because they use Culinary World's pixie dust of bacon bits.
Presentation's exceptional. They haven't been the filling hasn't been just shoved out in there, but it's actually been piped. It's very reminiscent almost of cupcake frosting.
Usually you'll have a deviled egg that's really dense, that they just kind of mashed up together. This has been whipped, it's kind of fluffy.
Very airy.
And bacon is awesome.
Next, we chow down on the fish and chips. Even the British couldn't have done these better.
I love fish, so I want to try it. I've had it like at a lot of places.
Yeah, they brought out the container with the flour and all the other mixtures, and they pull the beer from the tap. And that's just awesome. It's beautiful. You see the beer kind of foaming ahead, it's mixed in, so it's actual beer batter. And not any crappy beer, it's good beer they have on tap.
That's true, because if you wouldn't drink it, you shouldn't cook with it.
They're actually not like the form, again, pucks of fish either.
If I want to have actual fish and chips, this is the way that I'd expect to have them.
You can actually taste a difference in the batter. It's not just flour and water fried.
I can tell that you're digging it.
I am. Very much so.
Then it was time for the Gilroy burger, one of Mad Duck's specialties.
Over here is the Gilroy burger. So basil, cranberries, roasted garlic actually mashed into the patty, as well as a roasted garlic aioli, baked brie with fresh mixed greens, tossed in a white balsamic vinaigrette.
I like the fact that there is cranberries in it. As soon as that came off my tongue, the meat's really well seasoned as well. The cheese is on there kind of nice. The brie is creamy and you can barely feel it, so that's kind of nice. The lettuce was actually kind of different. I don't know if it's tossed with something, but there was a little bit of almost a dressing kind of flavor on it.
It really is nice to go somewhere where there's been so much attention put into the conception of every single burger that you have a totally different flavor and a totally different meal with each burger that you eat.
Completing our meal was an unlikely combination, the hearty steak salad.
Alright, I know we should have salad first, but I've been saving salad for last because it has steak on it. That steak is special. Before digging in, the fact that it is a mixed salad, it's not just iceberg lettuce or it's not just romaine. You have, microgreens and other non-standard lettuces.
Well, the nice thing about the steak salad is that you can make a real meal out of it.
I'm used to ordering chicken because in general, I'm not really big on meat, but I really like that the steak is moist and it goes well with the salad dressing.
You're right, it's a very cohesive salad. It's not something that somebody just dumped out of a bag and slapped a couple pieces of meat.
Because they needed a salad option.
I'm finding a common theme throughout all the food. Everything is well thought out.
Well, I think we've tried just about everything on the table. It's time to reflect a bit. Kelly?
I am very glad to be here, and besides the tots, I gotta say, I think it was the salad.
Really?
I really like the steak.
They've turned you into a beef eater.
Yes, they have.
Ramon, what was your favorite?
I actually like the fish and chips. I'm used to always getting that fish and chips that's slimy on the inside. It's bland and flavorless, and this one actually was good firm fish. It was crunchy. Alone without the tartar sauce was good, but with the tartar sauce it's even better.
I'm gonna have to go with the Gilroy burger. I'm a huge fan of garlic, and you pair that with some creamy brie, and you just have a burger that you can't compare.
I'm Ramon.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Angie, and this is What's Good Fresno.
Thank you for joining.